Assalamualaikum. So today our group gonna present about Trypanosoma brucei, which is in the Protista group that give really significant impacts on human health. So what is Trypanosoma brucei? Trypanosoma brucei is protozoan parasites that relate to human diseases such as causes sleeping sickness in human health that call African trypanosomiasis. So this protozoa is a species of parasitic kinetoplastid that belong to the genus Trypanosoma that presents in sub-Saharan Africa. Unlike other protozoa, this protista normally infect blood and tissue cells that inhabit the blood plasma and also body fluids. Trypanosoma brucei is a unicellular organism and also eukaryotic organism that classify under the kingdom Protista. Thus, the phylum is Iglonozoa and the class is Kinetoplastida. This protista is characterized as an elongated body, a single flagellum, and the presence of specialized mitochondrial structure called a kinetoplast. This protista has a complex life cycle, involves both the insects, vector, and also mammalian hosts, where it evades the immune system through antigenic variation, making it challenging pathogen to control. So the next slide is the example of 5 kingdom classification. So first, classification we can see from the group of Protista. Trypanosoma brucei is a unicellular eukaryotes that parasitic flagellates that often live in the blood or tissue of hosts. Second classification is the habitat. Trypanosoma brucei tends to be found in the rural areas of tropical and also subtropical Africa. It lives inside CC flies and also mammalian hosts. Third one is locomotion organelles. This protista has a flagellum, a long whip-like structure that aids to propel the cell through liquid, allowing this protista to swim through the bloodstream of its host. The flagellum is attached along the side of the body via the adductive membrane. So next classification is mode of nutrition. This protista is heterotrophic. It cannot produce its own food, so it depends on organic nutrients. It will absorb nutrients like amino acids, glucose, and lipids through the cell membrane from the host bloodstream of the tissues. It will absorb pre-digested nutrients from the host, and it does not perform phagocytosis, so it uses facilitated diffusion and active transport to take in nutrients. Lastly, for the reproduction, it undergoes asexual and also sexual reproduction. So for the asexual reproduction, protista will undergo process binary fission. It will occur in the mammalian host and insect vector. It will happen in the bloodstream, limb, and also cerebrospinal fluids of the host. The single cell of the organism will duplicate its nucleus and organelles that includes a structure called kinetoplast. The cell will divide lengthwise into 2 genetically identical daughter cells. Moreover, for sexual reproduction, it will undergo a genetic exchange. It occurs in salivary glands of the tsetse fly. It will involve a process called genetic recombination that gamete-like form fuse to form a zygote, allowing genetic diversity. So next is binomial nomenclature. So for this protista, the genus is Trypanosoma. It is the first part of the name which is always capitalized. So it is a group organism that are closely related. Trypanosoma includes many species of parasitic protozoa that live in the blood of vertebrates and are transmitted by insects. Hence, for the species is the brucei. This is the second part of the name that identifies the specific organism within the genus. This brucei refers to the particular species named in the honor of the Scottish pathologist David Bruce, who studied the parasite.
Trypanosoma brucei is a eukaryotic organism, meaning it has a nucleus. It belongs to the Protista kingdom and the Euglenozoa phylum. It is a part of the Kinetoplastia class, which includes parasite with a special DNA part called a kinetoplast. Trypanosoma brucei also varies in size and shape, which is pleomorphic, and it has nucleus, kinetoplast, undulating membrane, and flagellum. Morphology in invertebrate hosts, which divide into two, which is trypomasticoid and epimasticoid. The first one is trypomasticoid. It multiply in salivary gland and it also have kinetoplast anterior to nucleus. The second one is epimasticoid. It is an infective stage and it also reorganize cell structure. Next is nutrition and metabolism. Trypanosoma brucei is a facultative and anaerobe. It prefer low oxygen environment like the bloodstream. The primary energy source for the Trypanosoma brucei is a glucose. It is used to facilitate diffusion via THT1 and THT2 transporter. In low glucose, it is switched to active transport using it. Trypanosoma brucei also absorb amino acid for metabolism via sodium-dependent or independent transport system. Reproduction for Trypanosoma brucei divided into two, which is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction via binary fission occurs in both the mammalian host and the fly. And the second one is sexual reproduction. It is involve meiosis and syngamy in the stage in the fly. The next slide is about adaptation and survival of Trypanosoma brucei. Trypanosoma brucei survive in the host for extended periods by regulating replication to avoid killing the host too quickly, and through antigenic variation or immune evasion, which is frequently changes surface protein to escape immune detection. Through these steps, Trypanosoma brucei could survive many hosts.
Hello, I'm Munzira binti Ramlan, and today I will explain on the significant impact Trypanosoma brucei can give. Okay, one of it is African sleeping sickness, a disease which disrupts the sleep-wake cycle. This disease is very harmful as sleeping is one of essential things for overall human health. It might even lead an individual to be awake at night and sleepy during the day, which is, I must say, really bad as it opposes human nature. The vector that are responsible or the carrier is of Trypanosoma brucei was tsetse fly. When it bites their victims, Trypanosoma will be transferred into the bloodstream of that particular individual. Besides that, this parasite may also contribute towards African animal trypanosomiasis, which is also known as nagana. It usually attacks cattle, where it causes a particular organism affected to have intermittent fever, anemia, edema, enlarged lymph nodes, weight loss, and at some cases with higher risk, it can also lead to death. Other organisms that may be vulnerable towards this disease include goats and sheep, camels, and even horses. Both of these diseases may give risky impact towards population's wellness or health status, since it also involves fatal effect if not treated properly. Secondly, this will also give impact towards rural communities where it oftenly lack of hospitals, which leads to uncontrollable spreadness. Finally, it may also impact economic situation of a particular country with highest cases, as its livestock will be endangered, which automatically reduce food supply and income for farmers. Apart from that, diseases like this will limit visitors and investors as people are afraid of getting affected. Finally, I would like to explain briefly on the process of it affecting organism. Okay, firstly, tsetse fly will have a black meal on an individual exposed skin and inject metacyclic trypomastigoids into the skin. After that, it will transfer into the bloodstream. This is when our chosen microbes, Trypanosoma brucei, will start their task. This will be done by binary fission multiplication in various body fluids.
so that it will be spread enough until finally the disease starts developing by giving early symptoms, and if not treated, that particular individual will be vulnerable towards even death. Okay, so that's all from our group. Thank you.